Hello! If you couldn't tell already by the music and indeed the title of the video, today I'm going to be looking at the Ghostbusters video game on the Xbox 360. This has actually been something of a pleasant surprise. I was expecting something much more shallow than what we've got. Don't worry, today I'm not going to be spoiling anything. I'm going to be replaying a mission from fairly early on in the game, and it's going to be at a location that you see in the films, and that is the public library. What I will do though is probably start with one of our lions is missing. There we go. I'm going to be playing casual so I can talk as well as play rather than just stare at the screen. That's a pretty boring video. But I suppose basically, what do I think of this game? This video game is really quite cool. It's full of the nostalgia factor. For example, even this loading screen, look at that. The beauty and elegance, the design that's gone into capturing the equipment even of the Ghostbusters. A central element of what makes these guys iconic. Really shows that the people who made this game were fans, which is great. I have to say, playing the game, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I wasn't sure whether this was going to be like a GTA kind of game with like a sandbox element where you explore the city, maybe respond to 911 calls for ghost captures, and otherwise basically be a Ghostbuster in Manhattan or in New York. But that's not the way it plays. It is a series of levels, and presumably that's because they wanted to keep control of the narrative. They didn't want it to get too much out of control. And therefore they wanted it to unfold a little bit like the Ghostbusters movies do. Is this a third film replacement? Potentially. This is actually a very clever game narratively. They've really done quite a lot to... Oh, I'll get my scanner out. Oh, quite a lot to revisit the themes in the previous movies and to really see some of them through. So for example, in the library we are going to be revisiting the librarian's ghost, and we actually get in the course of the game an explanation as to why she's a ghost, and it ties in with the story really quite well. So this game pays off the films, but it's not a full replacement for the films. You can see that they used ideas maybe that were floating around for a potential third movie, but they didn't fully replace a third movie. So, then again, why would they? It's a game. They couldn't replace the third movie. The voice acting
Let's chase him down. Winston, check that next doorway, see if he has any friends.
is brilliant. Everyone put in a really good performance, with the possible, or indeed the actual exception of Bill Murray. He feels a little bit as though he's just, as they say, calling it in. He's quiet, he's mumbly, he's sarcastic, and you might say, well, that's just Peter Venkman, but you can tell he really doesn't care. He's just doing it because, well, he sort of was obliged to in some way, or maybe just getting lots of money. Nope. But despite that, the game is charming. It like I say, it revisits some of the enemies from the films, also some of the antagonists. For example, Walter Peck turns up in this game. The marshmallow, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man does as well. You've probably seen that in the trailers for the game if you've seen that. And all in all, it's a very pleasing experience. The technology, as I say, the detail they put in is fantastic, but also the logical evolution of the technology. So, for example, if I go press the left-hand D-pad stick button, it changes my proton pack into this sort of blue thing, like a time stasis kind of gun. Push up, and it becomes the classic Ghostbusters capture stream. If you later on in the game, you can actually there are elements of the proton pack which are linked in with the slime gun. So again, it's a really good evolution of the technology that we've seen, a really logical one actually. So they take the slime gun, the slime elements from the second film, and they put them into this game really, really pleasingly. And I love the way that actually that you do see, let me just put my PKE meter away, you actually see the change in the backpack as you switch between guns, or between formats. Oh, there he is. So it is quite a scary game. That wasn't a scary moment though, don't worry. They make use of lighting really, really well. And this whole thing of trying to track down the ghost with the PKE meter is superb, because you really feel as though as though you're a bit helpless. This thing's gonna jump at you at any minute. Oh, so you get the sense of being a Ghostbuster really well. Cleverly, they use the your player character is actually a new member of the team. So you're not taking the role of Venkman, of Egon or Ray. You're actually a silent protagonist, and this means that they get to do their thing, they get to be their characters, and you're not actually getting in the way of that. You're just observing it, which works really well. So here we are about to see in the main room of the library a Class 6 bidimensional attractor. And actually, speaking of which, if we press pause and go to the PKE meter, what's really cool is you actually have Tobin's spirit guide. So here's some of the people that I've scanned so far. Book Golem, that's what I'm about to try and face off against. And these ghosts, these sort of ethereal entities are captured in the spirit guide, which is mentioned in the Ghostbusters movies. So again, they've really thought through, and they've been consistent with this universe. This is a game by fans, I dare say, and for fans. Now, in that sense, yes, I think you have to be a fan to play this game. It's not the best game in the world, but it is not by any means a frustrating game to play. It's a good game to play. It's just not one that you're going to enjoy unless you understand something of the types of people that you're dealing with and the universe that you're in. But then again, who's not seen the Ghostbusters movies, you know? So all in all, it's good. Graphically, it works really well. The interplay between the characters is really pleasing. The fact that you get all these sort of artifacts to find, to scan, like Vigo's painting turns up, the slime, the dancing toaster from the second movie turns up in the Ghostbusters firehouse. It's crammed with fan service, and so in that case, if you've been craving an end to those two films, to that trilogy that people keep on talking about, this is somewhat serviceable as an end to the trilogy, despite Bill Murray's lackluster performance. Oh, there she is. Now,
Look, there she is. Meet us at the stairway door.
what do I think of an upcoming Ghostbusters movie? Do I think it's necessary? Well, there's a bit of a problem here, and that is that I don't think it's necessary. Why are they remaking Ghostbusters? I know that now that well, with the death of Harold Ramis, we can't really have a third Ghostbusters film, and Bill Murray for a long time has said that he doesn't want to be involved in a third Ghostbusters film. So in that sense, it wasn't going to happen. I can see why Hollywood decided just to go ahead and redo it in another way, or indeed why some of the creative team behind Ghostbusters decided to do that. But is it necessary? I don't think it's necessary. I just don't think it's needed. Also, I have to say, Melissa McCarthy worries me. Some of the roles that she's been in of late. Oh. Oh. Some of the roles that Melissa McCarthy has been in recently, for example, like playing a crude bridesmaid, or this new, was it the Spy movie, they're over the top, they're a little bit crude, and they play on her physicality in a way which is inelegant. And this makes me think that she's an inelegant actress. Now, I know she's not. I mean, my wife thinks actually she's got, you know, depth, and she's going to be able to deliver as a Ghostbuster in a way which you might not be able to necessarily predict based on some of those performances. But it doesn't fill me with confidence, you know, and it just makes me think, why are we doing this, other than just for the dollar signs? You're never going to be able to replace these Ghostbuster films, so why do them? But maybe that's the point. You can't replace the original, so what's the harm in trying something new? I suppose you can sit on both sides of that fence. But for me personally, I just don't think it's necessary. And while well, I will almost certainly go and see them in the cinema. Go and see this new Ghostbusters movie next year. I just don't see the point of it. And to a certain extent, it's a little bit like the RoboCop remake or the upcoming sequel to Predator. Now, it's not a remake, but it is being written and directed by the guy who plays Hawkins, I think, in that movie. In the first movie, that is. The guy who played Hawkins. And I don't know. Well, maybe that's not too bad, because at least he might bring something of the original back to it. But why do people keep on doing this, monkeying with the classics? I suppose the answer is dollars, money. But that's basically my opinion on the upcoming film. I remain to be convinced. Interestingly, I saw that Chris Hemsworth has been cast as someone called Kevin recently. I wonder who Kevin is. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, this is an example where the lighting and the equipment in this game really is immersive. You're in the dark, you're having to use your meter and your goggles to see effectively, and therefore it does suck you in. This is probably the definitive Ghostbusters experience. Paper construct, eh? And therefore, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you simply have to play it. Symmetrical book stacking. No human could stack books like this. I would have liked, as I say, to have seen though that open world sort of Grand Theft Auto 4 kind of vibe. So maybe, as I say, being able to ride around the city, have Janine call and say, we got one, and sort of and make you have to go off to a new location to capture a ghost. But I'm nitpicking. I understand why they did it this way, because they wanted to control the story, and they wanted it to unfold as a series of acts and levels, as it were, just as the Ghostbusters movies are constructed. Oh, here he comes.
Ooh, class 1 swarmers.
So these possessed books. Now I really like the damage as well that your proton pack can cause. You'll notice at the top left there's actually a damage meter, $703 worth of damage there. Ray's asking for a medic. I quite like that actually they keep track of the damage, and it's explained in the game that basically there's a deal with the city where the city subsidises the Ghostbusters damage in return for the protection it offers from paranormal events. I really like that. So yeah, so the lighting, the damage, the atmosphere, it's all good. And as I say, if you've been aching for that third part that's just never going to come, because well, for various reasons now, then you can do a lot worse than to play this game. It's not too expensive. I tracked it down for about 15 quid, no, £13 actually, at my local game store, Granger Games. But it is increasingly rare though. I couldn't find this, for example, at cash converters, which is often where I get my games from because they're very cheap there. So if you want it, I'd pick it up now, because actually, obviously next year we're going to be seeing the closure of Xbox Live, and if you want the updates for the game, make sure it runs properly, then you're probably going to want to get the game before the network shuts down. So if you want this game, I'd dive in now. Now one other thing, have you noticed how if I press the left trigger I'll shoot a boson dart, this big blast, and the heat has to be vented from the proton pack. So all these little details that really make it, so if you watch the bottom of the proton pack, there you go, if it wasn't blurry, there you go, all these little details really make this game. And I think they understood that, the people who like the cosplay, or just people who really like the Ghostbusters, the technology is a huge part of it, and they've got that down to a T. I just love the portrayal of the technology in this game. Come on! Need to get him towards the trap. Yeah, come on. Down. Down. Come on. Oh, no. Okay. Now you can actually slam the ghosts around. You see like a slam meter bottom right there. Oh, I've lost him. There he is. Come on, in the trap, in the trap. I'm trying to slam him into the trap. Come on, come on! Come on, you little slimy little critter. Come on! Yes! Oh, we retrieve that trap, I think. Recover the trap. One more to go. Put the trap out. You press X just to throw the trap, and the yellow lights indicate where the trap is. You have to pull the ghost towards it. Come on! Come on, Ray, we can do this. Yeah, we can. Oh. So you have to sort of diminish the life of the ghost. It becomes weak, and then it becomes sort of wrangleable towards the trap. Okay. Ah, keep on letting go. Come on. Come on. Oh. There we go. Come on, down we go. Into the trap. Yes!
Cool your heels in now for good work.
Thanks, Ray.
That's what I'm doing.
Congratulations, Ray. But I'm near Special Collections. Someone you've been wanting to meet again is here.
On
Oh.
our way.
Well, let's leave it there. Let's not rejoin Egon. All in all, this game is superb. Hopefully, I've been giving my reasons while playing fairly cogently. I know I sometimes get slightly lost in what I'm doing. I love Ghostbusters, and therefore I love this game. If you love Ghostbusters, you will love this game. As I said, I promised that I'd talk a little bit about my thoughts on the upcoming Ghostbusters movie. I'm a bit scared about it, to be honest, and I don't really see the need for it. But hopefully, if they handle it right, if they do what they do in this film, for example, the technology, the quirky humour, the wit of the thing, as opposed to just having Melissa McCarthy's over-the-top portrayals that she's had in other films, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's interesting that they're using female Ghostbusters. I really don't actually mind that at all. You know, some people are going, how dare they go female Ghostbusters, but I really don't mind. It's just, the question is why? Why are they doing it? And I can't help but think that it's for money, but hey ho. Anyway, spend your money on this game, definitely it's worth it. As always guys, until next time, please do take care. Bye bye.